All right, so welcome back, y'all. All right, so it has been a interesting last week and a half, right? Had a lot going on, so I told you guys the next time you'd see me, there would be fur in this shed, and here we have it. We've got some coons and some deers. So anyway, before we get into that, I'll kind of catch you guys up. Because a lot has happened here in the last week and a half, and so I'll kind of explain. So obviously, you know, this year with the world shut down because of the flu, right? We were not able to make our annual fishing trip up to Canada. Kind of put that on hold. Not only that, but work has just been crazy this year. Just, you know, a lot of work around. Everybody needs stuff done. So we kind of put that on hold. And then just a couple weeks ago, right, ended up having just a few days in between jobs, and lo and behold, the rod company that I use, you know, for my crappie fishing, they were having their first annual owners tournament down on Lake Fork in Texas. So real spur of the moment trip. I called up my dad. I said, hey, you want to go crappie fish in Texas? He said, yeah. So you know, went ahead, hooked up the boat, jumped in the truck, and drove down to Texas. Went down to Lake Fork, beautiful lake, first time I'd ever been there. So we kind of vacationed, pre-fished for a few days, and then ended up fishing the first annual ACC Owners Tournament there on Lake Fork. And lo and behold, took second place in that tournament. Super excited about it. This is the first tournament I'd ever fished. I think there were 5 guides in that tournament, 4 or 5 guides, and we beat out all but one. You know, guys that make their living on that lake. Beat out all but one, took second place. Actually, I'll show you guys. Pretty excited about it, really. I may have caught the tournament bug, but yeah, ended up with just a really nice trophy out of the deal. But yeah, took second place. Missed out on big fish by 1/100th of a pound. Our big fish was 2.46. Big fish of the tournament was 2.47. So just barely missed out on big fish. Took second place nonetheless. Met a lot of other YouTubers down there. It was really cool meeting up with all, you know, all the other guys down there and kind of the fishing community side of it. Andy's a great guy. Huge shout out to him for putting on the tournament. Obviously, it's the first tournament I ever fished, but it was a very well put together event. So anyway, fished that. Came back up to Illinois. Now, during that time span, our trapping season here in Illinois had started. And, you know, normally here in Illinois, our firearm season's, it's real screwy. So you've got the opening of trapping season, and then a week later, then you've got firearm season, which is a 3-day season. And then you skip a week, and then you've got a second firearm season for 4 days. Then you skip another week, and you've got a late season. So it broke up, and it makes it very difficult to really trap because, you know, like a lot of places, come firearm gun season or shotgun season here, the whole world shuts down, right? Orange Army goes to the woods, and it's just very hard to get, you know, get people to let you trap during that season. And, you know, I've had coyotes shot in sets before, and it's really not worth it. So I try to plan my setting around that. So obviously missed that first week of season down in Texas. Not only that, but it was warm. It was like 65, 70 degrees, just hard to get in the mood. So came back and decided, well, I'll concentrate on deer hunting, you know, until let this season go by. Actually ended up harvesting a pretty nice buck. I'll show you a picture of it here. Harvested a pretty nice buck there. Got that done. And then 2 days ago, I guess it was, decided just to put out a couple of sets right behind the house here. So I put out 4 sets, and I caught 2 coon yesterday off of them, and then 1 coon this morning. So we had a ton of rain, 2+ inches of rain, swelled up all the creeks, everything's flooded out. So anyway, got some fur for you guys. I'm gonna skin it here in just a little bit. We're gonna see if I still got it. I'll skin my first catch of the year on camera for you guys. But yeah, got that going. So what we're gonna do is, like I said, it's rain, it's flooded, and I'm not gonna trap near as hard as I have in the past years, guys. It's just not. And I know everybody says that you don't do it for the money, and you don't. But you know, it's just very discouraging to know that what you what you catch is either going to sit at the auction house for a long time, or else it's going to, you know, you're going to get literally pennies on the dollar of what it's worth. So I'm still going to trap, still going to make content for you guys, but definitely not going to go quite as hard. So, you know, in past years, I may try to work around this rain and flooding and different things like that. This year, if I end up with a blank for a day, if I don't catch something, I'm not that worried about it. You know, I'm going to kind of be more of a, I mean, it's all a hobby, but more of a hobby trapper. I'm going to play the good weather windows and things like that. Which brings me to my next question. I want to ask your guys' opinion. So, would you guys rather see videos more kind of a daily deal? You know, obviously I'm not going to have a big line out most of the time. I mean, I may get going here after a bit, but, you know, there may only be a few catches a day. Would you guys rather see that? Or rather me stockpile footage and then put together like one video a week or something, kind of like a weekly deal? Let me know what you guys think, because like I said, I'm doing this for you guys. Makes me no difference. All right, so we got the tournament, we got deer season, we got, yep, I think we're about caught up. So I got 3 deer hides back there. One of them's mine, 2 of them's my buddies that also shot deer this weekend. So I got 3 big deer hides back there. I'm gonna go ahead and flesh them out, finish them out, because I just don't have the freezer space for them. So if you guys like to see a video on that, leave a comment, let me know. I'll do that. So anyway, like I said, pretty excited, pretty eventful last couple of weeks. Once all this weather goes down, it's cool now. And then it's going to cool off. We had just kind of a real warm spell there. Now I kind of get in the mood, you know. I mean, the other night I was out here in a t-shirt, you know, in the first shed, no fire, so that's just weird. But anyway, I think that's about it. I think we're caught up, y'all. Let me turn the camera around a little bit, and we're going to skin out this first coon of the year and see if I still got it. Because honestly, I've done more stitching on myself this year than I have on critters. So by the way, let's see, focus. You guys see my finger there? Healed up very nicely. I appreciate all the kind words from that. That was a weird deal. But yeah, looks really good. Hasn't fallen off. It's just dead skin around it now, because I always build up a real bad callus. I pull strike off, you know, so I build up callus right there. But yeah, perfect. Good to go. Stitches kind of like fell out on themselves. I only ended up cut one out, so worked out pretty good. I can say I've done that now. All right, so let me get the camera in a little better position here, and we'll just see if I still got it. It's been like 10 months, so hopefully I haven't lost it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and skin out this coon. You know, I always get a lot of questions on skinning, like how quick. Now with canines, you want to skin them as quick as you can. Don't let them sit. Don't let them sit a day, honestly. But, you know, like with these coons here, like this coon here was caught yesterday. And I'll do that a lot. I'll do that a lot at times if I'm running small line, or if, you know, I only catch 1 or 2. That way it's, I mean, if I want to skin, I want to skin a bunch, you know. But, yeah, it's okay. Especially with these fatty critters, you know, that body, the fattier the critter is, the longer it takes the fur to slip. Now, I always tell people skin as quick as you can, just because I don't know your situation. If you're down south, you know, you got temperatures to deal with, you know, or whatever. But for like coons and beaver and stuff, you know, like today it's like a high like 42 degrees or something. You know, and if it dips down into the 30s, freezing or whatever, that's fine. You can let this stuff sit for 2. I wouldn't go more than 3 days. And I mean, you know, you want to make sure your fur's dry. Obviously, you don't want a wet coon that's been laying on its side for 2 days. You know that. So I mean, it's all situational. Excuse me. You know, definitely skin it as quick as you can. But you know, if you need to let it go in the evening or something, that's fine. And a lot of times, honestly, and I don't know if you guys can kind of see. So let's see. This coon here. This coon here was taken this morning, and you can tell whenever you take an animal, rigor mortis sets in pretty quick. What I mean by that, it'll stiffen up, but it'll only last a day or so, and then they'll actually start to. You can see like this coon here, he's already starting to loosen up after a day. So if you're pulling by hand, you know, a lot of times if you've got an animal that's got rigor mortis, it's a lot harder to work him. So if you're pulling by hand, it's not that big of a deal if you want to let them sit another day. That rigor mortis will kind of come out of them. They'll loosen up. Like I said, skin them as quick as you can, but if you need to let them go, you know, it's okay. So let's see if I still got this, because it's been a minute. Get this guy all brushed out, and you guys will see if I can, if I screw it up. Get him all brushed out. That's a good looking coon. I'm curious to see. This is as late as I've ever trapped a coon. We're like 10 days, 9-10 days into the season, so they ought to be good. You know, they ought to be prime. Our season starts late anyway, so we'll come in here with the old first cut. Make that cut right there. Come around. Single most important tool you can have, guys, is a 1/4-inch rod for doing stuff just like that. I mean, how easy does that get? Oh, by the way, always wear gloves. I always wear gloves, regardless of what I'm skinning. So, but I mean, how easy is that? Like I said, single most important tool in the arsenal there is that rod. It just takes all the work out of it. So we'll put the old gambrel in there. Let this dude fall. Slide that out of the way. Yeah, it's all coming back, y'all. All coming back. Oh yeah. Get that tail started. Strip that tail. So you can see, like I said, he sat a day, but he's not, there's no green belly, you know, because they're so fatty. Like I said, you don't want to do that with you know, with a canine, but with a real fatty critter, it's just fine. There we go. Front legs, can you guys see? Do you need to be positioned down a little bit? Ears, eyes. So check that out. This was dispatched there with the new Air Force, and 25 caliber, and no exit. I like that. That slow round, you know, really helps. All right. There you go, y'all. First fluffy critter of 2020. Nice 2X coon. All right, so this coon's cold. Let's see, let me get that. Let me get that out of the view for the YouTube. Don't want to catch it on. All right, so this coon's cold. Now, obviously, I put him in the fridge, but you know, we've gone this far. Let's go ahead and flesh him too. You guys can see this will be the first critter that I fleshed in 2020. See if I still got the fleshing part down. So yeah, there it is. Actually, let's skin one more for you guys. That was fun. I enjoyed the first shed, y'all. I honestly enjoy being in the first shed just as much as I do out on the line. I really do. So it's a good coon here. This is gonna be pushing 3X. Let's do this one. That's a good coon. We'll do this one with a little bit more effort here. But yeah, we'll brush him out. Just a lot of fun in the first shed. I enjoy this. Like I said, especially, you know, coming in the evening and doing all this. So yeah, kind of timing yourself, different things like that. So let's go here. I enjoy this. Let's skin this dude out a little bit more fast paced here for the second critter of the season. Boy, they are fat this year. I really do enjoy this, guys. And like I said, a lot of it's having a good setup too. I mean, I'm feel like I'm very efficient with my setup the way I've got it. Obviously, I've done this, you know, a few thousand times, but yeah, it just makes all the difference in the world whenever you can actually have fun doing it and you're not struggling, right? That's a big part of it. Is not trying to you know, struggle your way through it. I'll tell you what, they got the fat on them this year though. Of course, it's early in the season, but yeah, if that's any indication of the winter that we're gonna have, you know, we'll see. The deer were fat, I know that. The deer were definitely fat. Woo! That's so fun, guys. That's so much fun. Yeah, they got a lot of fat on them this year, y'all. Got a lot of fat on them. That's a nice coon, huh? This is the one I caught this morning. He's still a little damp, so we'll just hang him up by his nose and let him drip dry before we flush him and board him. But oh yeah, we're back, y'all. We're back. All right, let me spin you around and we'll see if I can't screw up fleshing the first critter of the year. All right, so let's flesh this thing. I'm all suited up now. By the way, not sponsored, but if y'all want to check out the best apron I've ever found for fleshing, this is it. It's made by Grundens. You're gonna pay a little bit for it, but it wraps completely around you. Best apron I found. I'll leave a link in the description below. You guys can go check it out. Yeah, honestly, it's the better one I've ever found. It doesn't get hard whenever it's cold. You know, a lot of the heavier ones, they get real stiff. This one doesn't. It keeps its flexibility. And then just for my sleeves, these are just old gauntlet gloves that's had holes in them. I just cut the bottom of the glove off, still left the cuff. And yeah, it keeps you from really getting all greasy. You're pretty much covered, right? So anyway, let's flesh out this coon here. See if I can't screw it up on the first one of the year. He's fairly cold. He's not as cold as I'd like him to be, but yeah. See what we can't do here. Pull him down on the beam. You guys have seen this before, but I always like to start with basically the side, the arm. We'll start in here, take sharp side, and knock that big old hunk of cheek meat off. And then just about as quick as you can, just go to pushing. You're a lot less likely to screw it up if you go to the dull side just as quick as you can. Get under the arm. I'll save the back for last. So we're going around basically to the other side, and we'll get that cheek meat. And then we'll flip to the other side. Like I said, this is, you guys have seen this before, but I figure, you know, might as well show it in this video. Get under that arm. Now we come to the back. You can see this is where everybody struggles. Start right below the ears at the sharp side. See, he's not quite as cold as I'd like him to be. That fat's still a little slimy. If he'd be in the fridge for a day, he'd be a lot more set up. But just go right down the back. Once you start to feel that kind of that first 4 or 5 inches or so, that's where that hard gristle is. Then flip it over. Commence to pushing. You can see how nice clean that is. Pull them up. Handy little wicker bill clamp. And we'll finish him off. Right down the tail there. As you guys have seen me talk in the past, you can see I'm working right here in my comfort zone. I'm not reaching way down towards the bottom of the beam. All this is, you know, less than, that's my arms fully extended. So all my work's right up here. Flip him around. And there we go. Make sure we got that tail good. I got just a little piece there. A little side to side motion. Hey, there we have it. First coon of 2020, fleshed, ready to go on the board. Alright, so this has quickly turned into a very impromptu fur handling, right? So anyway, I know I'm going to get the question. So that was a post knife that I just fleshed that coon out with. I got a bunch of other ones on the wall here. These two are Lee Steinmeyer's. Both great knives. This is his parallel knife. The narrow one, this is the wide one. We've got the original Necker. This is MB something. This was a Minnesota one. This is a funny knife because you actually put the sharp side here and then push the flesh or the dull side. I've done some videos on it. It's a cool knife, just a big one. This is like a $6 knife, and this was my original one that I built. Actually, I put handles on a piece of lawnmower blade or brush hog blade, I think it was, way back in the day. This is my original one. But yeah, my two favorite to probably deal with, the post and the this narrow Lee Steinmeyer. Lee makes beautiful knives. The post is a beautiful knife. You really can't go wrong. And I always get the question, and it's, you know, like I said, I fleshed for a couple of years with this knife. This is literally a brush hog blade. You know, and it worked, and I fleshed a lot of stuff with it. So, you know, a lot of it's just whatever you get comfortable with. You know, if you're comfortable with a machete, use a machete. But you know, definitely the steel is the big thing. I feel like the post and the Steinmeyer both have you know, great quality steel. The Neckers, it's a soft steel. Yeah, it's whatever. All right, so let's board this coon up here, since we've just really went all out on the fur handling here. So we'll go ahead and throw him on the board. I use boards, yes, you guys have seen that. So we'll take our coon, we'll center him up. I use an electric stapler. Oh, I gotta get my scissors. One moment. See, I told you, this is the first one. I'm not ready. Okay, so first things first. Scissors, I like to cut the feet off square, you know, because you always get that little dangly bit or whatever. Just take that, cut those off square. We're going to take and pull to the middle center. I've got my staple gun here, and it's got a little bit of an offset built into it, so it doesn't drive the staples all the way. Using at least 1/2 inch, I prefer 9/16 staples. So get the front feet. Now, like I said, this is going to be a 2X coon. So what I'm going to do here is we'll take, and I always go to the center out. You guys are having trouble seeing here. Might as well show you guys. Okay, we'll go right there, 2X, one on the outside, one in the middle. Same thing. kind of pleating it, kind of not right there. Alright, now just to make it look clean, that little flabby bit will curl up. That's just a little excess from, you know, whenever we did the money cut. So we'll trim that off. That'll all dry nice and straight. Got a piece of hardware cloth. We'll go ahead and tack that down at the bottom. And then if we want to pleat the tail slightly, we can just bring that up. You know, a lot of people are, you know, Grunwald has come out and said it's not the way you do it. You know, or not the way you do it, but it doesn't matter. You know, doing this, I like a nice finished product, and it doesn't take any more time, right? So that's the back. We'll go to the front here. So we'll just kind of clean that up just a slight. I like to just take that flabby bit. You know, we're taking off like, you know, literally a 1/16 of an inch. You know, around the sides there. Just dress that up nice. Arms, cut them off. Don't let them hang. There's no use. Trim those off. They'll dry up nice. Let me bring you guys back in focus. Bottom chin, trim that off. You always end up with that little bit of around the lips there. Trim that off right to the nose. Good sharp knife helps with that. And let's see. I have a nice backside of a knife here, just to scrape all that fat off. And then we'll stick a belly board in them. Stick that belly board in them just like that. And we'll hang him. I'll hang him on the rack there, but it'll just go just like that. And the you know, obviously that, in my opinion, is the best way to do it. Hang him down. You know, it's very hard to do with a wire, but that way all the fat, you know, that leaches out, it won't collect right here in the window, in the inspection window. They'll all go to the nose. Always get a bunch of questions on when is it time to take your stuff off. The nose right here on canines, on coons, on anything is the last to dry. So whenever that nose is dry and hard, you guys can't see me. Yeah, it's better. So whenever the nose is dry, obviously you're good to go. Then you can pull it off. As a general rule of thumb, you know, 4 to 5 days, depending on your temperature. All right, guys. So this was a longer one for sure, but kind of turned into a really impromptu, I guess, fur handling session too. Anyway, we're back, guys. We're rolling. As soon as the weather kind of breaks here with this rain, we're gonna get some steel in the ground. We'll start bringing you guys some content from out in the field, out on the line. If you would, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys would like to see this year as far as content, whether it be set making, fur handling, I don't know, whatever. Let me know. All right, y'all, we're gonna end it here. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like button. You have no idea how much it helps push these videos through. If you're new and you enjoyed this, consider subscribing. If you haven't already, hit that bell. It'll notify you whenever I upload a video. We're trying to get at least 2 videos a week up all through season, so there'll be a lot of content coming your way. I'm gonna sign off here, y'all. As always, I appreciate the view, and we'll see y'all next time.